Now, this is in violation of the door-to-door mandate of this exercise, which now, this violation in fact goes on to help the illegals with fake addresses on Aadhaar to go to these BLOs than other way around, and claims that, and in fact there are claims made that many of the applicants do not possess the valid documents. And in fact, there are allegations that fake birth certificates are being issued through cyber centers. The state plans to issue permanent residence certificates to such there are claims being made, viewers. I think we have a report, or we connect with a reporter. In fact, Abhishek is joining us on the broadcast. Abhishek, tell us more details about this, these allegations that are being raised.
When the special intensive revision started in across Karnataka, there are various other allegations made by JDS or BJP, the political parties, because in some of the locations, the special intensive revision exercise started in one of the marriage halls, and also we've seen various other instances where it is being conducted in a private marriage hall, in a mosque and various other places, which is not meant to be done in public places. The actual rule and the code of conduct of the special intensive revision was the officer, the PLA along with the PLO visit the residence of every single voter, hands over the form to respective person of the family, and then gives a couple of days time to make sure that the data has been filled and they collect it in person after the data has been filled in. But there is a severe allegation and a serious allegation stating that fake birth certificates are being produced to make sure that the votes have been included newly, and to make sure that this will be benefiting the government or in any political party. But at this point of time, we've also seen that the state government has, the chief minister has obviously mentioned the fact that none of these exercises should have been done. The government will take stringent action on the people who organize a special intensive revision exercise in one of the marriage halls without the permission of the superior officials. But we are yet to see if there will be a full stop to these kind of events, because not only in Bengaluru, not only in Ramnagar, not only in Vijaypura, in various other parts of the state, this has started. The officials have started conducting the exercise of special intensive revision in public halls to make sure that they can save on time. But on whose orders are these people doing this is the point of question which has been raised by the government itself. And also we've seen politicians from their very own government, the Congress government, raising the questions. And also we have seen BJP and JDS, who's on the opposition side in the state of Karnataka, have mentioned that the government is making sure to spoil the special intensive revision exercise, and this is one of their backdoor tactics.
So you didn't know it. Stay with us, sir. Stay with us. In fact, thank you so much. We will just go across to what H.D. Kumaraswamy had said on this matter as he raises concerns on the process.
Karnataka Election Commission directed to go for the SAR processes in Karnataka. In that process, Karnataka government misusing their power by giving direction to these BLOs. The one incident which occurred in today morning in Ramnagaram, I am showing you. These BLOs, they are inviting all fake identity holders to the Chowdhury, and they are actually doing this process by additionally they are putting in the voter list the fake voters. Already in Karnataka, more than 25 lakh Bangladeshis they are living here. This is actually from last 4-5 years continuously everybody criticizing about the government, the protection by this government for Bangladeshis. In Ramnagaram itself, more than 10,000 Bangladeshis are in Ramnagaram. They are living there, using their voting without any legality. They wanted to actually addition list. They wanted to do it in this process. I request Honorable Chief Election Commissioner to look into it, take strict action against those people who are involved in this.
And on to the big story, viewers, that we are tracking for you. In fact, this is the state of affairs in a state like Maharashtra, where we see that civic infrastructure continues to be questioned. We see how it's crumbling down. Be it any party that governs the civic body. We see that the tragic deaths continue every monsoon. Now, in the latest, 3 tragic deaths have been reported, raising serious questions about civic apathy and contractor negligence. Now, in the latest, we have a case from Pune where a 2-year-old Soham has drowned after falling into a rainwater-filled pit right outside his home. So the pit was dug. There were at least 4 pits that have been dug up. One of them, this was one of them where he fell into, and it was allegedly left open without any safety measures. Police have booked an unidentified contractor in Mumbai, and the fact that it's an unidentified contractor is again a matter of concern. Meanwhile, in Thane's Mumbai, you have a 17-year-old Alia dying of electrocution just this Wednesday evening. She came into contact with a live current wire while walking through a waterlogged stretch near her building's iron gate, and her family says that the complaints about the voltage fluctuation to torrent power were ignored. Police have booked the power officials for negligence, but in Nagpur, viewer, the story hasn't been any different. You have in Nagpur, Tajbagh area, 65-year-old Afroza Begum dying right after an electric shock as she was returning from a grocery store. Live current spreading through water accumulated on the road due to negligence by municipal corporation contractors and electricity officials. In all these 3 cases, viewers, that we've been highlighting for the past 24 hours, residents are demanding accountability, stricter safety enforcement, and compensation for the victims' families in the case. So, viewers, these are pictures. In fact, this adds to the list that we were bringing to you yesterday when we saw how a man falls into a pole, I beg your pardon, in a manhole in Sakinaka of Mumbai, and there were deaths reported in Thane, deaths reported now again. You see in Nagpur what has happened in the first spell of monsoon, one after the other. We see cities like Nagpur, Mumbai, Thane, even Junagadh. There are manholes that are uncovered, and this negligence is not a new story. Every year, with the beginning of monsoon, we report these stories, but nothing has changed. The promises of the governments, of those governing the parties, nothing changes. Revati is joining. Okay, these are the 3 visuals, and these are the innocents. There's no fault of theirs. They have lost their lives. Young, old, everybody is affected. The common man is affected when the civic apathy goes to another level. It can happen in any street, in any corner of the country, in any state, in any city. A city which is called the financial capital of the country, a city like Nagpur, where even the chief minister hails from, a city like Junagadh. Every city, town is affected, viewers. In what we see, the infrastructure is crumbling and there is civic negligence. Revati joins us live on the broadcast from Mumbai. Revati, one after the other, we're getting such reports where you see that the common man is affected. Their lives are lost because of the negligence of those who are there in these offices, in these civic bodies, the politicians who are running these bodies, their promises ringing hollow, and you can clearly see that day after day, lives are lost. That is the cost of living in these cities.
Right, as you rightly mentioned, that what is the cost of anyone's life, though there is compensation given for the victim to the victim's family, but is that sufficient? Is not. It is responsibility of the authorities to get done with the pre-monsoon works, due to which these lives are lost. This is mere examples of negligence by the authorities. The first incident is that a 65-year-old woman was electrocuted in Maharashtra's Nagpur area, where she was just walking back to home from a grocery store, and she was electrocuted where the water was logged, and she died on the spot. Also, a 2-year-old toddler, he was at no fault. He was just playing at his house's yard, and that's when he fell into a pit which was dug for the flow of the sewage water and the rainwater, but there was no security measures taken there, and he fell and he drowned in the water. Now, who is to be held accountable for his death? Because as of now, the family, the Kasbe family of the 2-year-old is devastated. Similar incident happened in Mumbai's Thane district in Mumbra area, where a 17-year-old, she was just walking by the road where there was waterlogged, and again an open wire came in contact with that waterlogging, and she was electrocuted and she died on the spot. And the most shocking part of the Thane incident is that there were several complaints made to the electricity supply department, but no cognizance was taken. And now a demand is made that an FIR shall be registered against the electricity supply department officials. So as of now, considering these 3 incidents, also there are 2 to 3 such more shocking incidents in Maharashtra, where we can see the mere example of negligence, which we saw yesterday also on Republic, that a 60-year-old man fell into an open drainage line where the lid was open and there was no barricades. And the work of cleaning that drainage line was done when the torrential rains were received. Why that work wasn't done before? Why the lid was kept open? There are many questions. So as you rightly mentioned, who is to be held accountable for this? Over to you.
Absolutely. And the citizens are, of course, paying taxes, and they're demanding accountability. Thank you so much, Rafe, for joining us. We'll keep a close eye on developments coming in, viewers. In the meantime, we will be bringing you more updates, viewers, from what's happening in Bengaluru, the daycare horror story. After this very, very short break, 2 of the caretakers have been arrested for physically abusing the toddlers at the daycare at Capgemini office.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट, ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ।
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, मसाला।
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk tonight about an incident where an FIR got registered against 4 people. This is an incident which has happened in Madhya Pradesh, in Ujjain, and there is this strange video which shows a van suspended about 40 feet in the air. And it's suspended with a crane, some kind of a huge big crane. And there are explosives which are put inside this van, and then the van is detonated. Watch this very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. This is apparently during a Moharram procession, where the organizers fill a car with explosives, lift it 40 feet in the air with explosives, put a slogan on the vehicle saying, "Le fir aage," which means, "Look, we are back." And then they explode the van. And at that point of time, there are posts.
R Pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Man's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover two lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time. And now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job. But it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Mann. He's about 52 years now, 52 or 53. And the video apparently goes back to the time he was 39 years old. This is a video he's released. Let me first show you the other video, the controversial video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of Bhagwant Mann at the age of 39. And visibly, over the last 13 years, he's aged. There's nothing wrong with that. We all age. But there's a distinct difference in facial appearance. I'd like to show you a picture of Bhagwant Mann at present, which is about 52, 53 years old. And Bhagwant Mann on the other side at the age of 39, when he was a performer. Well, he is still a performer in a way. But there's a distinct physical difference. A, he's put on a lot of weight. His face is much more puffy. He's old.
A very good afternoon, viewers. You're watching Republic, and in a major step, the Republic School of Journalism, India's most sought-after live learning program, has now opened applications for its 2026 batch. RSA was launched with a single mission: to train the next generation of journalists, not in classrooms, but on the field, live as news breaks, and covering elections, wars, and the biggest stories of our times, under the direct mentorship of India's best journalists at the Republic Media Network. And the results speak for themselves. 100% of students from RSJ's inaugural batch are now placed working in newsrooms. The new batch begins this August, and aspiring journalists can apply online at www.republicschoolofjournalism.com or call 836-999-5400 to know more. But first, let's take a look at the headlines. Back-to-back cases of civic apathy comes to light. 2 electrocuted after rain and 1 drowns after falling into open pit. 2 daycare caretakers arrested for allegedly physically abusing toddlers at a daycare in Bengaluru. Prime accused sent to 14-day custody. DMK versus TVK intensifies in Tamil Nadu. DMK likely to move Supreme Court over TVK minister's comment on Karur stampede. Government orders removal of controversial apps tolling battery vehicles. Apps like Bad BMS, Lossigi to be removed. Viewers, more stories coming in. Another civic apathy now. Rahul Ashok Patil, a motorcyclist who was critically injured when a coconut tree fell on his moving two-wheeler in Rai village in Mira Bhayandar in Maharashtra. He tragically passed away in the hospital today while undergoing treatment. The horrific accident occurred 2 days ago while he was riding along the road amidst heavy rainfall. Now, following the accident, local residents acted swiftly to pull the young man out from under the tree and immediately admitted him to the ICU. And unfortunately, he has passed after battling for 2 days. Now, the story of civic apathy once again, where several children was killed or drowned in a pit amidst the monsoon season. Another, Rahul Ashok Patil. He was a motorcyclist and he was critically injured when a coconut tree that was on the roadside fell during a heavy rainfall. This happened in Mira Bhayandar area in Maharashtra, and he tragically passed away. And when the accident occurred, there were several passers-by and they attempted to remove him, and he was brought to the hospital, and after battling for a few days, and he was in fact announced dead today. And this is happening again in Maharashtra, and another sign of civic apathy in the region as the monsoon season sets in Maharashtra, and several such civic administration authorities negligence are being brought to light with such accidents, where several cases has to be checked in on this to check that such accidents can be avoided, can be prevented. I'm also joined by my colleague Revati, who has more details into the story. Revati, these are
many stories that we are seeing from Maharashtra, several instances of civic apathy where administrations could have done more to keep in check prior to the onset of the monsoon season. And we are getting reports that another motorcyclist, he was struck when a tree fell onto him amidst heavy rainfall. Well, of course, a monsoon season sets every year, that is clear. But what can be done from the administration has to be made many checks before the onset of the season so that such instances do not occur. What's the latest that you're tracking on this story, Revati?
Before we move forward in this, I would like to mention that it is just the different year, but the same story in Maharashtra's different areas where the pre-monsoon works are done or no. The questions are raised on this particular thing because, as we can see, within a span of 1 week or so, there are several incidents which have questioned the pre-monsoon works done by the authorities, and also does the common people's lives matter or no is the question which is raised by the citizens as of now, because the incidents which are happening, it is the mere example of the negligence by the authorities. Number one incident in Nagpur where a 65-year-old woman was electrocuted, followed by 2 school-going girls in Navi Mumbai. They were also electrocuted. In Thane, a 17-year-old girl was electrocuted yesterday. A 60-year-old man fell into an open drainage where the was open, followed by this particular incident from Mirabai in the road where a coconut tree fell on the 35-year-old biker and a 2-year-old toddler. Mind you, 2-year-old toddler was also drowned in an open pit which was dug for the flow of sewage and rainwater, but unfortunately due to lack of security measures, he fell into it and he was drowned. So these are the incidents within a span of just a week. Rather, it happened within a week, in just a week in different parts of Maharashtra. So now the question arises, who is to be held accountable for it? Is just the compensation enough to overcome the civic issues which are Maharashtrians facing right now? Because every year we see that monsoons hit. It's just the first spell of the monsoon in Maharashtra, and this is the condition. So if we think that moving forward that the monsoons will get more dense and the torrential rains will be recorded, what will be the situation then?
Right. Revati, I request you to continue staying with us because we have more stories coming in. As you mentioned, some other instances has also occurred in Maharashtra, and 3 tragic deaths took place now, raising serious questions once again about civic apathy and contractor negligence now. In Pune, 2-year-old Soham Lakhan Kasbe drowned after falling into a rainwater-filled pit outside his home. The pit was one of 4 that was dug for drainage and allegedly left open without safety measures. Loni Kalbur police have booked an unidentified contractor with regards to this matter. Now in Mumbai's Mumbai, 17-year-old Alia Muhammad Sajid Chandiwala. She died of electrocution Wednesday evening. She came into contact with a live current while walking through a waterlogged stretch near her building's Iron Gate. Her family says complaints about voltage fluctuation to torrent power were ignored. Police have booked power officials for negligence in this case as well. And in Nagpur's Tajbagh area, 65-year-old Afroza Begum. She died instantly from an electric shock while returning from a grocery store. There's a live current that had spread through the water that was accumulated on the road, allegedly due to negligence by the municipal corporation contractors and electricity officials. Now, in all of these 3 cases, residents are demanding accountability, stricter safety enforcement, and compensation for the victims' families. These are 3 multiple instances that happened in a span within weeks as the onset of the monsoon, but the accountability question remains unanswered. While families still demand accountability, they are blaming the power company. Some are blaming the municipal corporation for leaving a pit open, even if it was supposed to be used for drainage. That was open, kept in the open for many days. And with that, a child fell into that and has died. Now, coming back to you, Revati, these are instances that highlight the apathy, the civic apathy that Republic has continually raised. And someone has to be accounted for, has to be taken accountability on that. You mentioned that some have been given compensation, but that's not enough. What about in the future when such instances occur again? So who will be held accountable? So what can be done to prevent such as much as possible? Give us more into this, Revati, and the latest that you're tracking into this.
Right. So considering the Nagpur case as of now, in the Nagpur case where the 65-year-old woman was electrocuted, in that particular matter, an accidental death report is reported by the Nagpur police. Mankapur Road police actually of Nagpur have reported an accidental death report, but the citizens demand that an FIR should be registered against the electricity supply department officials as the open wire fell into the water which was logged, and that is the reason why the woman lost her life. And the most tragic incident is about a 2-year-old toddler who was playing around his house. He fell into a pit, and the contractor is also unknown. There's an FIR registered against an unidentified contractor in this particular matter, and the investigation in the matter is underway. In Thane's case, the electricity supply department officials are registered because there were continuous complaints made by the citizens about the open wire, but yet no cognizance was taken by the officials, and hence it led to death of a 17-year-old girl, Alia. So these are the current status of the case. But as you rightly mentioned, that who is to be held accountable for? Because now the question arises: if the pre-monsoon works were done in time, this would have averted, and such innocent lives were also would have been saved. But now the question again arises that who is to be held accountable, and is compensation enough for whatever happened in different parts of Maharashtra? Over to you.
Right. Thank you so much, Revati, for all of those details. And we will continue to track the story and also question those who can be held accountable on this. And now, viewers, we move on to another shocking story. A protester at the China Out of Tibet protest that was held in New York, identified as Lobga Rangzin, planted a Tibetan flag on the sidewalk in front of the United Nations headquarters in New York, protesting against China, and then self-immolated along the busy street during the evening rush. Here's a report. Let's take a look.
A 42-year-old man holding a Tibetan flag died after setting himself on fire in front of the United Nations headquarters in New York. The incident occurred at 42nd Street and 1st Avenue. Rangzin, who has lived in the United States for about 20 years, crumbled to the ground in less than a minute after he was engulfed in the flames. About 15 seconds later, a pair of first responders with fire extinguishers doused the flames. Police were spotted at the scene carrying sheets of paper, one of which said "China out of Tibet," a slogan commonly associated with the Tibetan independence movement or contemporary Free Tibet movement. The man was taken to Bellevue Hospital and later pronounced dead, according to the police. Law enforcement are investigating the self-immolation. Officials say they were not able to comment on what prompted the man to set himself on fire.
Now, viewers, in connection to the child daycare horror in Bengaluru, police have intensified their investigation into the alleged abuse case, and the prime accused, Vijay Lakshmi, has been arrested and produced before the court. The court has remanded the accused 14 days of judicial custody. Police are also investigating the role of other staff members who were present at the daycare during the incident. Investigators are verifying who was on duty at the time and whether anyone else was involved or failed to report the alleged abuse. The investigation is continuing as of now, and further action is likely based on the evidence that has been gathered so far. A shocking horror that came to light And these are some of the visuals where the child was locked up inside washroom, bathrooms, even inside washing machines. You can hear many cries of these toddlers, not even 3 years old. These are all under 5-year-old, most of them. And it's a Capgemini run daycare center in Bengaluru, which has now been shut as this incident has come to light. Several caretakers that you can see on these visuals, shocking visuals. These children are being subjected to torment, and you can hear several cries from the children that are in fact very disturbing to hear, and shocking abuse being carried out, physical abuse, and these are happening for how long? That's the remaining question as investigation continue. And with regards to this, main accused that was also seen in these visuals have been arrested. Vijay Lakshmi, the prime accused, have been arrested. She was produced before the court and has been sent to about 14 days of judicial custody. And as the investigation continues, more and more will be named, and also those who knew about the incident and did not report. Now, I'm joined by my colleague Abhishek to give us more details into this. Abhishek, we are getting reports that the prime accused Vijay Lakshmi has been arrested in this, but there are several others that we can see in the video, several other caretakers, service providers who are there, and also the police investigation are also seeing those who have knowledge of this happening but did not report. Can you tell us more into that?
Well, with respect to the latest development or the update as to what happened in the daycare abuse case, this particular case has 5 accused persons in it, and all of them are women, and 4 of them have been served the notices by the HL police station. One woman who is an accused has already absconded, and the police have already started a search against that particular woman. And among the 4 women who received the notice from the HL police station, one of them, accused number 2, Vijay Lakshmi, has already been taken into custody, produced in front of the court, and she's been remanded to the judicial custody for 14 days starting from today. The second point is that the HL police have already reached the premises of the private company where this abuse on the infant or the toddler kids happened. They've started their investigation of the day 2. They've started questioning the managers and the people who are working there, and also they are investigating and interrogating the persons who are responsible for the safety of the entire floor or the block of the daycare. The third update is that the National Child Rights Commission is about to reach into Bengaluru in next couple of minutes, and they will be heading to HCL police station to collect all the substantial evidence and data and the reports of whatever the police have collected until now, after which they will be heading to the private company where this incident has occurred, and they are going to collect all the evidences, be it the CCTV, be it the statements and the information from all the people who are working there, who had sent their children to the daycare facility in that particular place.
Right.
Another addition to this information is that the Women Commission, Dr. Nagalakshmi Chowdhury, has also insisted that these women who are accused in this particular case go face a stringent punishment, because this video isn't a normal video and none of the things against these children will be accepted, and the Women Commission will not stand by these women who harm the toddlers physically, mentally and emotionally. Over to you.
Right, Abhishek, thank you so much for all of those details, and we'll continue to get back to you as the investigation unfolds. And now, viewers, a major scandal rocks Pakistani government. Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister's grandson has been arrested, and this in relation with a major shocker. Now, Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar's grandson has been arrested for kidnap and rape. Pakistan Deputy Prime Minister's grandson, in fact, reports say that raped 2 French Venezuelan women. And Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister's grandson invited those 2 women and held them captive, and also, in fact, reports saying raped them. A major scandal now rocks Pakistan, and this is a high-profile scandal. And as Lahore police continues to investigate, and Mohammad Raza Dar, who is a close relative of the Deputy Prime Minister, has been arrested with charges of gang rape kidnapping and extortion of 2 foreign nationals. One is a French woman and a Venezuelan. Now, according to the FIR, the victims met Mohammed Raza Dar in Singapore in October 2025 and were invited to Pakistan. Now, Raza Dar, who is a close relative of the Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister, arranged the visas for both of them. And upon arrival, they were abducted on the 29th of June. They were taken to an abandoned house. They were stripped of all of their cash and gang raped and brutally assaulted them. And now Mohammed Raza Dar's accomplices were also involved in this incident. This harrowing police report reveals that the perpetrators subjected the women to sexual violence, rape, extortion, and threatening to kill them, and even sell their organs if additional ransom demands were not met. I'm now joined by my colleague Gursimran, who has more details into this. Gursimran, this is a very shocking scandal that we are hearing. The Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister's grandson, he was in fact arranging visas for them, and when they arrived, they were held captive and raped them. Several accomplices also included in this. Tell us more into this. This is a very major story that's breaking now on Republic.
Yes, a total of 5 arrests have been made, including Mohammed Raza Dar, who happens to be the grandson of a Pakistani foreign minister, and the Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar. Important to mention that this all started from the month of November 2025 when he went to Singapore. He got in contact with 2 foreign nationals. One was a Netherlands citizen and the other was a Venezuela citizen. And then they exchanged some WhatsApp messages. It was a regular exchange of messages that took place for roughly over 7 months, and then he, using his influence, invited them to Pakistan. When they landed in Pakistan, it was on 29th of June. They were abducted and then they were forced. The police has registered the case of kidnapping as well as the sexual assault case that has been registered, and now the investigation is underway. We are told that all 5 that have been apprehended, they are directly involved in the commission of this crime, but the prime accused in this case happens to be Mohammed Raza Dar, and now the investigating agencies are looking into it.
And also, Gursimran, I request you to continue to stay with us because we have another breaking news coming in. Now, this is from the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. The people, during the ongoing protests in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir in POK region, local people have openly exposed the Pakistani army and government, accusing them of betrayal and occupation. Protesters allege that the Pakistani army had earlier distributed weapons among Kashmiris, only to later label them as terrorists. Now, raising strong anti-Pakistan slogans, demonstrators demanded that the Pakistani army immediately get out of their land and that the Pakistani government vacate the POK region and restore their rights, reflecting deep resentment against what they describe as Pakistani exploitation and interference in the region. Now, coming back to you, Gursimran, this is another flashpoint that's emerging in POK as protests continue to intensify. Now, they are saying that the Pakistani government and army provided weapons to the protesters and then labeled them as terrorists. This is a big game that's being played by the Pakistani administration. Give us more details into this.
See, Pakistani army was trying to ensure that they gave weapons to the people of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir and then create an internal rebellion, then to actually wage a war against the civilian by the civilians. This was what they were actually trying to portray, and that was the reason that for over years Pakistan has been distributing weapons to the rebel groups in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir that will help them suppress the common masses, those who are demanding their democratic rights. But now all the people of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, they have united, and now they are exposing Pakistani establishment, Pakistani army. Reality is that this is for the first time in the history of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir that the people have stood and have gone beyond only asking for their meals. They are no more asking for the subsidized electricity. They are no more asking for subsidized food, wheat, grains, but they are asking for their democratic rights. They want no interference in their democratic rights and in their assembly, and that's why they are on the roads of Pakistan. Pakistani establishment is completely rattled with this new protest that is for their democratic rights, because they know that now the people are asking their democratic rights. The day is not far when they will ask Pakistan to go out completely from Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, and that's why now these spins are being given to the protests, labeling them as anti-nationalists, labeling these protests as against the Pakistan, that these are powered or being supported by the foreign powers that they are trying to portray by the Pakistani side.
And also, Gursimran, we know that the POK protests have been ongoing for almost the whole of June. And, well, we'll continue to track this story and the protests. And
इंसानी हकूक की तंजीमों को गवाह बना के कहता हूँ, आप सबकी मौजूदगी में कहता हूँ, कश्मीरियों के हाथ में बंदूक पाकिस्तान की फौज ने दी थी, कश्मीरियों के हाथ में बंदूक भी पाकिस्तान की फौज ने दी, और तुम भी पाकिस्तान की फौज में, और तुम हमें बताते हो जैसे डिप्टी कमिश्नर रावलाकोट, तुम यहाँ पर रैलियां निकलवाते थे, बंदूकों वाली तलवारों वाली, याद है आप सबको? याद है कि नहीं है? सबको याद है, तुम रैलियां निकलवाते थे दहशतगर्दों के खिलाफ, तो हमारे खिलाफ फतवे जारी करवाते थे। तुम हमें बताओगे कि दहशतगर्द एक्शन कमेटी और ये सारे लोग दहशतगर्द हैं? ये सारे लोग
Right, those are some of the slogans and in a rally that was organized in POK, and the latest, the protesters now have exposed the Pakistani army and the authorities that they have supplied weapons to the Kashmiris and again labeled them as a terrorist. These are the latest that we're tracking in the region from POK, and thank you so much, Gursimran, for joining us on this broadcast and giving us all of those details. But we are taking a very short break at this point, and after the break, we'll continue to track the stories. That's what's happening in Tamil Nadu. DMK versus TVK intensifies in the state as DMK likely to move Supreme Court over TVK minister's comment on Karur stampede. Coming up next.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ।
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी। प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाई जीरा से MTH का जल जीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH
By the way, viewers, I'm driving in Delhi with Delhi wala boy Aman Gupta, who is too busy waving to his fans than talking to me. Please come down to earth, Aman.
Yes, I am sorry.
You're on my show.
I forgot.
This is not your show. This is my show. Stop waving to your fans. Be modest. Now everybody look. अरे आप politician हो. आप politician हो. आप ये क्या कर रहे हो? This is too much.
आपने बोला humble हो, मैं humble हो रहा हूँ.
You became very famous during Balika Badhu. At that time, there was a huge amount of fame and focus, right?
There was.
People must be writing about you. The paparazzi would have written about you.
There were no paparazzis at that time.
You're not that old. Don't
No, I mean it. There were no paparazzi.
You were no paparazzi at that time.
There were no paparazzis.
This has happened now? There was no Viral Bayani then?
Back then, it was just,
What do you mean back then? No, if you keep talking, I'm over a decade older to you. If you keep saying back then I'll stop driving the car here.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean...
What am I then? Back?
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरी राजा।
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk tonight about an incident where an FIR got registered against 4 people. This is an incident which has happened in Madhya Pradesh, in Ujjain, and there is this strange video which shows a van suspended about 40 feet in the air. And it's suspended with a crane, some kind of a huge big crane. and there are explosives which are put inside this van, and then the van is detonated. Watch this very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. This is apparently during a Muharram procession, where the organizers fill a car with explosives, lift it 40 feet in the air with explosives, put a slogan on the vehicle saying, "Le fir aage," which means, "Look, we are back." And then they explode the van. And at that point of time, there are posters put, there's a lot of mayhem. It's also seen in the video that there are two people who are waving red flags before the blast, and the car is detonated mid-air amidst the spectators. There are videos from an Instagram account which also show a young man performing other explosion-related stunts, such as filling a drum with explosives and blasting it. And there are intense explosives used out there. This is all a celebration of explosions. These are not fireworks, let me tell you this, viewers. Now, the police arrested the accused, and there was a procession of the accused also taken out. The accused identified as one Shoaib, Zahid Khan and Taslim. Shoaib organized the event, and Zahid and Taslim were the ones waving the flag while standing on the vehicle before the vehicle was blown up. This is what has happened. And this is the strangest and most dangerous incident that has happened, because we don't know what is the message that they were trying to send by carrying out a car explosion. Please look at these pictures with.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Republic TV. I'm Gesu Bharadwaj. Lots lined up for you on the news wheel ahead. But first, like usual, a check on your headlines. Back-to-back cases of civic apathy come to light. 2 electrocuted after rain and 1 drowns after falling into an open pit. Two daycare caretakers arrested for allegedly physically abusing toddlers at a daycare in Bengaluru. Prime accused sent to 14-day police custody. DMK versus TVK intensifies in Tamil Nadu. DMK likely to move the Supreme Court over TVK minister's comment on Karur's stampede. Government orders removal of controversial apps stalling battery vehicles. Apps like BAT, BMS, Losigi to be removed from the Indian app stores. And viewers, starting first. With monsoon, another thing that arrives every year are cases of civic apathy. And nothing seems to be improving, and this is not just about one state. While the lens is on Maharashtra for the most number of cases, we're also looking at other states including Gujarat, Junagadh, where various cases have come out of open manholes and people avoiding near-death experiences in accidents involving these manholes. Now in Pune, 2-year-old Soham Lakhan Kaspe drowned after falling into a rainwater-filled pit outside his home. The pit was one of the 4 dug for drainage and allegedly also left open without any safety measures. Now, the police have booked an unidentified contractor. Now, in Mumbai's Mumbai, another 17-year-old Alia Mohammad Sajid Chandiwala died of electrocution on Wednesday evening. She came into contact with a live current while walking through a waterlogged stretch near her building's gate. Her family says complaints about voltage fluctuation to torrent power were ignored. Police have also booked power officials for negligence, and in Nagpur's Tajbagh area, 65-year-old Afroza Begum died instantly from an electric shock while returning from a grocery store. Live current had spread through water accumulated on the road, allegedly due to negligence by the municipal corporation contractors and even electricity officials. Now, in all 3 cases, residents are demanding accountability, stricter safety enforcement and compensation for the victims' families. Now, in fact, my colleague Revati also joins us live to get us more updates into the matter. Revati, yesterday we saw multiple incidents unfold, and today there is a new wave of incidents involving fatalities. In fact, what action is the BMC taking? What action is the police taking? What are the first statements that are coming in from the authorities solely responsible for the urban infrastructure collapse that we see across Maharashtra? Revati.
Right, as you rightly mentioned, that the shocking incidents have emerged in last 72 to 48 hours, and the most shocking was the yesterday's incident where a 60-year-old man fell into a drainage open line where the cleaning work was going on. The work was supposed to be done and expected to be done by the end of May, latest by the first week of June, but that wasn't the scene. And when the man was walking by the road, he couldn't see, according to his family, which he gave the statement to Republic as well. He mentioned that Aslam Sheikh, who fell into the open drainage, he was not able to see see that open lid. And the most shocking part of that is that there was no security measures taken, no barricading was done. So also the most important thing here to be noted is that there was no security measures. So after that, a compensation of 10 lakh rupees were given, and along with the assistant commissioner, ward commissioner of the L ward, 4 officials were suspended. But is that enough for to compensate someone's life? Because this is these incidents which have been reported by Republic, these incidents ought to happen every year. It is just the different year, same situation. So now who is to be held accountable for this is the question. As I mentioned earlier, these incidents happen every year, yet there is no reduction in the number of such cases, though it may be the pre-monsoon works or the electrocution. Over to you.
Right, Revati. In fact, Revati, also speak to us about, where the discrepancies are actually stemming from. The Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation is the richest in the country with the most amount of funding being pumped in, yet these incidents are not taken care of. And for anyone who's lived in Bombay, including you and I, we know that these incidents are not new to the city. This keeps happening every year and nothing seems to be changing. It almost seems like the government at this point has surrendered to these incidents and is unwilling to take any action at all. Revati.
Yes, as you rightly mentioned, and even I said before that it is just the different year, same situation continues, and it is just the first spell of the monsoon, yet the situation is the same. Even every year, the Andheri subway is waterlogged up till knee, and there is no change in that very situation. Also, the situation around the city continues to be the same. The waterlogging is there, the traffic jams are there, the open wires continues to be a death threat to everyone walking around. The situation remains same. So now who is to be held accountable? The residents, the local people are raising questions that what is government doing? Yesterday also, when the person, the 60-year-old man, fell into that drainage line, their local residents, while speaking to Republic, said that what is government up to? Why isn't there any cognizance taken of such incidents? Also, they were blaming that these works were supposed to be done earlier, but no one was taking the cognizance of the same. And when the complaints were made, no cognizance was taken. Even in Thane, an incident of a 17-year-old girl electrocuted was reported. There also, the electricity supply department officials were intimidated about the same, that there is an open wire, but no cognizance, and it claimed the life of a 17-year-old girl who was just walking by the street. Now, the parents are devastated in this particular matter. Over to you.
Definitely, Revati, and we will come back to you. We'll continuously keep tracking the cases of civic apathy that are coming in from Maharashtra. But for now, viewers, it's time to shift focus and track what's happening in Bengaluru. Now, if you remember, yesterday Republic reported a case of a daycare in Bengaluru that was being run by a private IT company, Cape Gemini, where cases of abuse and torture with toddlers aged 2 to 3 years came out. Now, today, the main accused, Vijay Lakshmi, has been arrested by the police. She was also, in fact, produced in front of of a court. Now, the court has remanded the main accused, Vijay Lakshmi, one of the caretakers, with 14 days of police custody. So the Bengaluru police has now intensified action against those who were allegedly involved in the daycare incident, in the daycare apathy. And now, in the latest, demands for justice are growing higher. In fact, police are also investigating the role of other staff members who were present at the daycare during the time of the incident. This includes at least 4 more women caretakers that were named as part of the first FIR. Now, investigators are verifying who was on duty at the time and whether anyone else was involved or failed to report the alleged abuse. And now shifting focus to West Bengal. The UCC bill's first draft has been tabled on the floor of the State Assembly. Now, the West Bengal cabinet has decided to form a high-level committee that will be headed by a veteran judge. And this committee is going to take this entire draft into cognizance, read through each part of it, and see whether or not it is going to be fit for the sociological fabric of West Bengal. Now, in fact, pertinent questions are being raised by the opposition for whether or not UCC should be brought in West Bengal. While that question remains, this draft committee is going to see the functioning and implementation of the UCC draft bill. They've been given about 3 to 4 weeks of time to produce their final report in front of the cabinet over the functioning of UCC and its implementation on ground. That is the Uniform Civil Code bill that aims to bring the entire institution of marriage under one bill. In fact, this also secures a better living environment for live-in couples as well as those who are looking to get married. So the UCC in West Bengal now will hang in balance for about 3 to 4 more weeks until this high-level committee will produce its first draft. Take a look at this whole report.
The West Bengal government has initiated the next step towards framing its Uniform Civil Code, with the draft bill set to be discussed at a cabinet meeting in Nabanna. The meeting, scheduled for 2 p.m, will be attended by ministers and secretaries from all government departments to deliberate on the proposed legislation. The state cabinet has already approved the formation of an expert committee to examine the draft Uniform Civil Code bill. The panel will be headed by retired Supreme Court Judge Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai, who has been given 4 weeks to study the draft and submit recommendations. According to the state government, once the committee submits its report, the draft UCC bill will be placed before the West Bengal Legislative Assembly for further consideration. The move comes as the Uniform Civil Code continues to remain a key political and legal issue, with several states examining similar legislation. The expert panel's recommendations are expected to shape the final draft before it is formally introduced in the Assembly.
Shifting focus to another breaking development that we're tracking at this hour. Now, Congress has returned with its politics over the Ram Mandir donation theft case, the embezzlement that the Congress has pegged its politics upon. And now Digvijay Singh has come out and he has staked a claim saying that the donation theft money was being used to buy out MPs and MLAs of opposition parties. So Digvijay Singh from the Congress has now staked claim that the donation theft money from the Ram Mandir fund was being used to buy out MLAs and MPs. The Congress's blatant insensitive remarks in the face of this entire embezzlement case is only growing more grim, with Digvijay Singh now making another statement where he says that this donation theft money is being used to buy out MPs and MLAs of the opposition parties. Now, while he hasn't named which party is using this money, that is pretty clear from the Congress's leader Digvijay Singh's statement. Now, in fact, the RSS has also responded to it. RSS General Secretary has taken a dig right back at Digvijay Singh. Listen into what he has to say on the matter.
पर कानूनी प्रक्रिया प्रारंभ की है। जांच स्वाभाविक ही अपेक्षा है कि इस घोर निंदनीय घटना को असाधारण मानकर गंभीरता से व्यवस्था एवं संचालन की सभी कमियों को दूर करने हेतु परिणामकारक कदम उठाए ताकि अयोध्या मंदिर पर करोड़ों राम भक्तों की आस्था व श्रद्धा अखंड एवं अटूट बनी रहे। वर्तमान भ्रम और असमंजस की स्थिति समाप्त होनी ही चाहिए। इस दृष्टि से हमारी अपेक्षा है कि सभी आवश्यक पहल मंदिर प्रबंधन और शासन द्वारा गठित विशेष जांच दल करेंगे। हमारा यह विश्वास है कि समुचित वित्तीय प्रबंधन सुचारू संचालन हेतु निर्दोष पारदर्शी व्यवस्थाओं एवं शुद्धता और पवित्रता से परिपूर्ण धार्मिकता से ओतप्रोत वातावरण के द्वारा श्री राम जन्मभूमि तीर्थ क्षेत्र न्यास हिंदू समाज की आस्था एवं विश्वास को सुदृढ़ बनाए रखेगा। राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ संपूर्ण हिंदू समाज से भी आह्वान करता है कि इस कठिन क्षण में वह आवश्यक धैर्य और संयम का परिचय दें तथा इस दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटना का लाभ उठाकर हिंदू विरोधी राष्ट्र विरोधी शक्तियों के हिंदू धर्म एवं समाज को बदनाम करने के षड्यंत्रों को विफल करे। जय श्री राम।
That was the latest statement that's coming in from the RSS General Secretary, his rebuttal to the Congress party over their statement on Ram Mandir embezzlement case. Now, Digvijay Singh from the Congress party has come forth and he's staked claim that the donation theft money was being used to poach out MLAs and MPs from opposition parties. Now, in fact, RSS General Secretary has responded to it. He has not just said that Digvijay's claim is futile. He also says that the Congress party should refrain from playing politics on such a sensitive matter that's involving the Ram Mandir. Now remember, this case is about the Ram Mandir donation embezzlement, where about lakhs and lakhs of donation money was missing from the records of the Ram temple. Now, in fact, while questions were also being raised on the temple secretary, no links have been established yet. In fact, arrests have been made. 7 people have been arrested in the case so far, and their residences have been raided by the Ayodhya police. In fact, the Ayodhya police has also asked for the enforcement directorate to be pressed in on the case. In fact, that decision still hangs in balance and will be taken by the DIG of Ayodhya. In fact, that's the latest that we're picking up. Now, RSS General Secretary responding to Congress's statement on Ram Mandir embezzlement, where they say that the donation theft money is being used to buy out MPs and MLAs. Now, in fact, let's once again listen in to RSS General Secretary's rebuttal to the Congress party.
बना है अयोध्या में श्री रामलला मंदिर में रखे हुए दान पात्रों में जमा राशि की चोरी के दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटना से समूचे समाज और राम भक्तों को भावना एवं श्रद्धा को आघात पहुंचा है तथा इस घटना से हम सभी आहत हैं। श्री राम जन्मभूमि तीर्थ क्षेत्र न्यास के आग्रहपूर्वक निवेदन पर उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने विशेष जांच दल का गठन कर उसकी अनुशंसा पर कानूनी प्रक्रिया प्रारंभ की है। जांच में जो भी दोषी पाए जाएंगे उन्हें कठोर दंड हो, यह सुनिश्चित करना आवश्यक है। राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ सहित संपूर्ण हिंदू समाज की न्यास से स्वाभाविक ही अपेक्षा है कि इस घोर निंदनीय घटना को असाधारण मानकर गंभीरता से व्यवस्था एवं संचालन की सभी कमियों को दूर करने हेतु परिणामकारक कदम उठाए ताकि अयोध्या मंदिर पर करोड़ों राम भक्तों की आस्था व श्रद्धा अखंड एवं अटूट बनी रहे। वर्तमान भ्रम और असमंजस की स्थिति समाप्त होनी ही चाहिए।
Now, in fact, my colleague Satya Vijay also joins us live from Ground Zero to speak to us about the matter. Satya Vijay, कांग्रेस पार्टी के दिग्विजय सिंह ने कहा है कि ये जो डोनेशन का पैसा है जो गायब हुआ है राम मंदिर से, वो एमएलएज और एमपीज को खरीदने के लिए इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है। आरएसएस के जनरल सेक्रेटरी ने इस पे अपनी स्टेटमेंट दी है। आप हमें और क्या बता सकते हैं इस बारे में, सत्य विजय?
जी हाँ देखिए, दिग्विजय सिंह का बड़ा स्टेटमेंट सामने आया है जिसमें उन्होंने चंदा चोरी का जो प्रकरण है उसको लेकर कहीं ना कहीं बीजेपी और आरएसएस को घेरने की कोशिश की है। दिग्विजय सिंह ने कहा कि ये जो लोग हैं, बीजेपी के जो लोग हैं, ये धर्म बेचकर अपनी कमाई करते हैं, उस कमाई से वोट खरीदते हैं, विधायक खरीदते हैं, सांसद खरीदते हैं। इसी के साथ साथ दिग्विजय सिंह ने यह भी कहा कि इन लोगों का जो राम मंदिर प्रेम है वो तब पैदा हुआ जब इनके 2 सांसद बचे थे। साथ ही साथ उन्होंने ये भी आरोप लगाया कि दिग्विजय सिंह ने यह भी कहा कि राम मंदिर निर्माण में उन्होंने भी चंदा दिया था और ऐसे में उन्हें शक है कि उनका भी चंदा जो है वो चोरी हुआ। इसको लेकर वो 5 और 6 जुलाई को अयोध्या जाएंगे, अपने वकीलों के जरिए केस दर्ज कराएंगे, ये दिग्विजय सिंह ने कहा। और दिग्विजय सिंह ने ये भी कहा कि जो राम मंदिर है उसमें आरएसएस और बीजेपी उस दौरान नहीं थी जब ये पूरा ही आंदोलन खड़ा हुआ और इसीलिए उन्होंने इस तरह की बातें कही हैं। साथ ही साथ दिग्विजय सिंह ने ये भी आरोप लगाया कि चंपत राय और अनिल मिश्रा जो हैं उन्हें बचाने की कोशिश की जा रही है। तो महिला कांग्रेस का
जी सत्य विजय, धन्यवाद हम तक ये सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन पहुंचाने के लिए। नाउ व्यूअर्स, शिफ्टिंग फोकस, एन एंटी चाइना प्रोटेस्टर इन न्यूयॉर्क सेल्फ इमोलेटेड आफ्टर raising slogans against the Chinese party, against the Chinese president, and this was a China out of Tibet protest that was ongoing on the streets of New York. Take a look at everything that unfolded.
A 42-year-old man holding a Tibetan flag died after setting himself on fire in front of the United Nations headquarters in New York. The incident occurred at 42nd Street and 1st Avenue. Rangzin, who has lived in the United States for about 20 years, crumbled to the ground in less than a minute after he was engulfed in the flames. About 15 seconds later, a pair of first responders with fire extinguishers doused the flames. Police were spotted at the scene carrying sheets of paper, one of which said "China out of Tibet," a slogan commonly associated with the Tibetan independence movement or contemporary Free Tibet movement. The man was taken to Bellevue Hospital and later pronounced dead, according to the police. Law enforcement are investigating the self-immolation. Officials say they were not able to comment on what prompted the man to set himself on fire.
And viewers, shifting focus to Jammu and Kashmir, the annual Sri Amarnath Yatra is all set to begin with devotees frolicking to Jammu's base camp and getting ready in excitement to go and pay their respects at the shrine, the cave shrine that belongs to Shiva. Now, in fact, in Jammu, devotees have already started frolicking and coming out in huge numbers. Over 400 devotees have already arrived for the first round as Sri Amarnath Yatra opens in Jammu and Kashmir. Take a look at this.
Chants of Bam Bam Bole echoed through Jammu as the first batch of pilgrims set off for the sacred Amarnath Yatra, one of India's most revered religious journeys. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha flagged off the inaugural convoy from the Bhagwati Nagar Yatri Niwas, marking the formal commencement of the annual pilgrimage. The 57-day Yatra begins today and will continue till August 28th, coinciding with the festival of Raksha Bandhan.
This is a camp where the facilities have been provided for all these yatris, although the number is coming around 10,000, those many of them who have reached through the private vehicles, the train journey, many of them have taken, and some of them have also come in using via these buses that were provided by the administration. But meanwhile, we are also seeing many of the yatris who have turned quite offended, saying that they are not being allowed to go inside the camp because of the registration issues that they are facing, although many of them are staying here on the very road despite the challenging weather. They are not even leaving the place, waiting that when they will be getting a green signal from the administration.
Authorities have made elaborate arrangements for the smooth conduct of the pilgrimage, including accommodations, medical facilities, transportation, and disaster response mechanisms. Security remains a key focus with a multi-layered security grid deployed along both routes.
इसमें काफ़ी फोर्सेस लगी हैं, CAPF, आर्मी, पुलिस, JKP मेनली, और हमने इसमें प्रॉपर अरेंजमेंट किया था और प्रॉपर तरीके से अभी ऑलमोस्ट सारी कार्रवाई आ चुकी है और हमने प्रॉपर तरीके से ये लोग अपने कैंप में जा रहे हैं लोग और प्रॉपर लाइन वगैरह लग के पूरा इनका हुआ है और काफ़ी अच्छा अरेंजमेंट हो गया है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है.
Security agencies have also carried out extensive area domination exercises and route sanitization ahead of the pilgrimage.
Meanwhile, we are seeing the army in action. The drone systems have been chipped in. They are monitoring the entire tracks, the area where from the yatra will proceed, and also the AI has been given a focus this time. There have been the multiple around 600 CCTV cameras that have been installed that will be monitoring these yatris. So this is the Amarnath Yatra of the 2026, where we see a jam-packed pilgrims number just outside the Srinagar's transit camp.
And that's all that we could wrap for you in this edition of Live in Breaking. Thanks very much for staying with us, and don't go anywhere. On the other side, at least 2 accused have been arrested in the Bengaluru daycare apathy case, and in fact the police has intensified its probe, while the prime accused have been sent to 14-day police custody. We're getting you all the details on the other side.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट. अब बताओ, स्वाद आया? आया.
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे.
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Man's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover 2 lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time, and now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job, but it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Mann. He's about 52 years now, 52 or 53. And the video apparently goes back to the time he was 39 years old. This is a video he's released. Let me first show you the other video, the controversial video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of Bhagwant Mann at the age of 39. And visibly, over the last 13 years, he's aged. There's nothing wrong with that. We all age. But there's a distinct difference in facial appearance. I'd like to show you a picture of Bhagwant Mann at present, which is about 52, 53 years old. And Bhagwant Mann on the other side at the age of 39, when he was a performer. Well, he is still a performer in a way, but there's a distinct physical difference. A, he's put on a lot of weight. His face is much more puffy. He's older. He's wearing a turban. He was not wearing a turban at that time. Not always, at least. Not always photographed with a turban. And so there's a distinct difference. So if you see the picture of the younger Bhagwant Mann, you'd actually have a blink and miss moment. Is this the same?
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार.
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा
विमल बनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है? आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट, स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
By the way, viewers, I'm driving in Delhi with Delhi wala boy Aman Gupta, who is too busy waving to his fans than talking to me. Please come down to earth, Aman.
Yes, I am sorry.
You're on my show.
I forgot.
This is not your show. This is my show. Stop waving to your fans. Be modest. Now everybody look. अरे आप politician हो. आप politician हो. आप ये क्या कर रहे हो? This is too much.
आपने बोला हम्बल हो, मैं हम्बल हो रहा हूँ।
You became very famous during Balika Badhu. At that time, there was a huge amount of fame and focus, right?
There was.
People must be writing about you. The paparazzi would have written about you.
There were no paparazzis at that time.
You're not that old. Don't
No, I mean it. There were no paparazzi.
You were no paparazzi at that time.
There were no paparazzis.
This has happened now?
This is
There was...
The top headlines today: back-to-back cases of civic apathy comes to light. 2 electrocuted after rain and 1 drowns after falling into an open pit. Two daycare caretakers arrested for allegedly physically abusing toddlers at a daycare in Bengaluru. Prime accused sent to 14-day in custody. DMK versus TVK intensifies in Tamil Nadu. DMK likely to move Supreme Court over TVK minister's comment on Karur stampede. Government orders removal of controversial apps stalling battery vehicles. Apps like BAT, BMS, Lossigi to be removed. RSS gives a first statement on the Ram Mandir case, says that sentiments have been wounded and seeks investigation into the case. All right, viewers, we have the first story of the day. We are shifting focus to Maharashtra, where civic apathy and negligence has killed 3 people so far, and a motorcyclist was also affected by this rainfall, heavy rainfall, where a tree also fell on him. In the latest civic apathy negligence in Maharashtra, a child also drowned. Where in Pune, a 2-year-old Soham Lakhan Kasbe, he drowned after falling into a rainwater-filled pit outside his home, and the pit was one of the 4 that was dug for drainage and allegedly left open without safety measures. Now, Loni Kalbur police have booked an unidentified contractor regarding the matter. In Mumbai's Mumbai area, 17-year-old Alia Muhammad Sajid Chandiwala died of electrocution on Wednesday evening. She came into contact with a live current while she was walking through a waterlogged stretch near her building's Iron Gate. Her family says complaints about voltage fluctuation to torrent power were ignored. Police have booked power officials for negligence. And in another case in Nagpur, Tajpur area, 65-year-old Afroza Begum died instantly from an electric shock while returning from a grocery store. Live current had spread through the water accumulated that was on the road, allegedly due to negligence by municipal corporation contractors and electricity officials. And now in all of these 3 cases, residents are demanding accountability, stricter safety enforcement and compensation for the victims' families as well. I'm joined by my colleague Revati live from Mumbai, who has been tracking these cases in great detail. Revati, we continue to stay on this story. This has raised many concerns regarding the civic apathy and also the administration's negligence. As we were speaking earlier, this was about the apathy and the negligence by the administrations. We know that pre-monsoon checks has to be done with regards to how there should be waterlogged checks, there should be electrocution checks that can be prevented. What is the latest that we're tracking as of now, as more people seems to be affected by the monsoon that has hit in Maharashtra, and these civic apathy like the water pit being waterlogged and electrocution continues to claim lives?
Right, as you rightly mentioned, that the monsoons have hit hard on Maharashtra, and this is the very first spell of monsoon, and yet the condition is already worsened. And in the upcoming days, when the monsoon gets dense and more torrential rains will be recorded, then the situation what will be the situation is the question now, which is raised by the residents here, by the people here, by the public here. Now coming to the incidents which is recorded in last 48 to 72 hours. They are shocking incidents and an example of mere negligence. The most important incident which happened in Mumbai here is that an 11-year-old boy lost his life when he was traveling in his school bus, and a big tree fell on him. Vihan is the name of that boy. And also the shocking part to this incident is that when there was a concretization of that very road where the tree fell, the survey was done, and the authorities knew that the tree was very weak at the root, yet the tree wasn't uprooted and shifted somewhere else. Then who is to be held accountable for this particular incident? Though the BMC officials are suspended for this, but is suspension enough? In considering this incident, other incidents are in a similar way, though there are compensations given or there are suspension made, but is that enough to compensate where a life is lost? 17-year-old has lost her life. A 2-year-old boy in Pune has lost his life because there was an open pit where there was water logged because of the pit which was dug for the sewage water, and there was no security measures. So now the accountability in these matters is still questioned. Over to you.
Right. That's right, Revati. This, in fact, has raised many concerns, and many questions also arise with this matter as to who is responsible for fixing or preventing such cases, and who will be held accountable following such deaths that's occurring in Maharashtra. We'll continue to track this story. Thank you so much, Revati, for joining us on this broadcast. And viewers, we move on to another shocking story that's happening from Pakistan. A close relative of the Pakistan Deputy Prime Minister, a relative that's a grandson, has now been under a major scandal that has rocked, and now according to reports that we're getting, the Pak Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar's grandson has been arrested for kidnap and rape. Pakistan Deputy Prime Minister's grandson has in fact raped 2 French and Venezuelan women. Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister's grandson in fact invited the 2 foreign nationals, held them captive and asked them for ransom, and also threatened them that they would sell their organs. This is a latest scandal that has rocked Pakistan, a major scandal where the grandson of the Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar has in fact raped, and now police are investigating the case. 2 women of foreign nationals, 1 French and 1 Venezuelan, they met in Singapore in 2025, and in fact the grandson of the Deputy Pakistani Prime Minister arranged the visas for them, and upon arrival they have been held captive, and there have been many accomplices to this, as reports are saying they have been gang raped in this, and also they were held captive for a very long time, and in fact they were threatened that their organs would be sold if any word occurs regarding this. This is a big scandal that has rocked the Pakistan government. This the grandson of the Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister being arrested. I'm now joined by Gursimran, who has more details into this. Gursimran, this is a major scandal that's happening in Pakistan government, and in fact the police have arrested the grandson, but the question remains, will the justice be provided, because this is a person very in close proximity to the Pakistani government and now charged with rape and ransom, and also there have been threats as the victims claim that their organs would be sold. This is a major story that's developing. What's the latest? Can you add more into that, Gursimran?
See, justice has been the first casualty when it comes to high-profile cases in Pakistan, especially linked to those at the helm of affairs and holding the powers. This we have seen in the number of instances that have been reported. Now coming to this instance that involves the grandson of Ishaq Dar, the foreign minister and the deputy prime minister of Pakistan. He has been identified as Mohammad Raza Dar, and important to mention that this all started from the last year. It was the last quarter of 2025 when Raza Dar went to Singapore, and he met two foreign nationals. One of them was from Netherlands, and second from Venezuela. And then over some 7 months time, they exchanged the WhatsApp messages, some communication they had over internet, after which they were invited to Pakistan by Raza Dar. Being from an influential family, they came to Pakistan. All the arrangements were made by Raza Dar, but then all of a sudden they were taken hostage, they were held captive, and then they were threatened of even their organs being sold after the threats of killing them. Now the FIR has been registered for kidnapping as well as the sexual assault. Now 5 accused in total have been arrested. There are allegations of the gang rape also. Now they have been apprehended, including the prime accused, the grandson of the Pakistani deputy prime minister and the foreign minister Ishaq Dar, and now the investigation is underway. But yes, the main question remains to be whether there will be justice that will be served, or like other cases in Pakistan, the high-profile cases, this also will be put under the carpet.
Thank you so much for all of those inputs, Gursimran, and we'll continue to track this story and get back to you as it develops. And now, viewers, we shift focus to another horror shocker that happened in Bengaluru, a child daycare. The videos have surfaced of childcare service providers abusing the toddlers that are barely 5 years old. And in the latest that we're tracking, a main accused, Vijay Lakshmi, has been arrested with regards to the child daycare horror center. The center has been closed for now, and in the latest that we're tracking, the 5 more have also been booked under the Juvenile Justice Act with regards to this, and with physical abuse being surfacing on this story. And in the latest that we're tracking, the prime accused Vijay Lakshmi has been arrested and was produced before the court, and the court has remanded the accused to 14 days of judicial custody. The police are also investigating the role of other staff members who were present at the daycare during the incident. Now, investigators are verifying who was on duty at the time when the incident happened and whether anyone else was also involved or did fail to report the alleged abuse, and how long that has been going on in the center. The investigation is continuing and further action is likely based on the evidence gathered. In fact, Republic has also spoken to the whistleblower in this incident. Let's listen into that.
प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है वीडियो वो बच्चे के लिए ऐसा डरा रहा है मंजुला और उसका साथ में 4 आदमी मेरे को तो कॉल किया था ऐसा हो रहा है करके हमें तो बोला ठीक से ऐसा वीडियो करो करके हम बोला है उसलिए पहले इनको तो उन्होंने अपोजिट लड़ दिया है क्या हुआ था लड़ दिया हमारा मम्मी तो उनको पूछे ऐसा तुम बच्चे लोग वैसा नहीं करना अभी किया तो थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा कुछ को बताए तो पेरेंट्स लोग तो हमने हल्डाएगा करके बोला तुमको उसमें नहीं चाहिए तुम आराम से कैसे आ रहा है उसको काम देख के चलो करके बोला वो पूछ के नेक्स्ट डे मेरा मम्मी को अपोजिट लेटर दिया है सर तुम काउंसलर नहीं चाहिए करके उसका हायर ऑफिसर आके बोला है ऐसा ये आंटी ऐसा नहीं है ठीक है करके वो बोल के अभी तो उनको भी पता नहीं इनको काम से निकाला लिया ऐसा इंसिडेंट सब भी चल रहा है सर अंदर।
आपका मम्मी पहले कहाँ पे काम कर रहे थे?
नहीं इसका पहले कुछ अपार्टमेंट में काम कर रहा था वो कोई रेकमेंड लिए उधर बेबी केयर को गया था 1.5 मंथ तो अभी काम को जाके
सिर्फ 1.5 महीने के पहले शी जॉइंड द कॉर्पोरेट कंपनी का डे केयर
1.5 मंथ में आया था।
ये इंसिडेंट कब हुआ
सर? ये तो हमको उन्होंने वीडियो लिया डेट 21, 22, 23 3 दिन में लिया सर।
21 ऑफ जून
नेक्स्ट
लास्ट मंथ 21 जून का वीडियो है ये
वही सर 21, 22, 23 3 दिन वीडियो हम बनाए हैं। मम्मी बनाया तुम वीडियो लो, हमें तो कानून रीति जाएंगे करके हम बोल के वीडियो लिया था सर।
ठीक है, 3 दिन का वीडियो में एक ही बच्चे थे, नहीं तो
अलग अलग है। वो 3 लोग बच्चा है, 2 लेडी है, 1 जेंट्स है। वो जेंट्स के लिए क्या करता है, पानी मारता है शावर में था फेस के लिए, और 2 बच्चे के लिए क्या करता है, वॉशरूम में डालता है। वो तो मम्मी मम्मी करके वो साउंड करता है, तब ये लोग देख के वीडियो कर रहे थे।
ठीक है, अगर आपका कंप्लेंट कॉपी में है टॉयलेट का गन मुंह में डाल रहे थे, वॉशिंग मशीन के अंदर बिठ रहे थे,
वीडियो है सर।
टॉयलेट गन का भी वीडियो है?
हाँ वीडियो है, वही वीडियो ऑलरेडी चाइल्ड ऑफिस को दिया है, वो तो कानून रीति वो कर रहा है सर।
अभी वीडियो है 21, 22, 23 का, और उनका आपका मम्मी और सुपरवाइजर का बात क्या हुआ?
सर बात कुछ नहीं हुआ, ये तो उनको पूछा है ना, ऐसा बच्ची के लोग ऐसा नहीं करना, तुम ऐसा करे तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा करके बोला है। तो वो नेक्स्ट डे मम्मी का पर गलाटा कराया, वो 24 तुमसे काम से निकालने आगा करके, ठीक है कल 1 दिन तुम आओ करके वो बोल के 1 दिन किया। वो 1 दिन में अपोजिट लट दिया है, दे के उनको काम से निकाल ले रहे सर।
उन लोगों को पता था कि आपका मम्मी वीडियो कर रहे हैं?
नहीं, उनको तो मालूम नहीं वीडियो किया, तो वो वीडियो तो सीक्रेट इधर से रख के हमें तो वीडियो कराया, तब वो 3 दिन वीडियो कराया सर।
26 आपका मम्मी का लास्ट वर्किंग डे?
लास्ट डेट है, वो दिन भी पेमेंट डाल दिया वो लोग। वो पेमेंट का देता है 15th है, 15th का पहले ये क्या करता, मंजुला बोलता है तुम वीडियो किसको भी नहीं देना, उसको तुम्हारा पेमेंट होता आज ही डाल दिएगा करके पेमेंट डाल दिया है। वो तो एक ही वीडियो उन्होंने शेयर कर लिया सर
मंजुला।
हाँ मंजुला
कैसे?
वो तो अपोजिट लेटर हमारा बेटा के लिए भेजो करके हमारा मम्मी दे रहा है, वो तो क्या कर रहा है, वो तो नहीं भेज रहा है। उसका ये वीडियो देख के वीडियो शेयर करके नेक्स्ट डे क्या करता है, इवनिंग 4 o'clock वीडियो फ़ोन देता, वो फ़ोन में देखे तो मंजिला एक वीडियो ट्रांसफ़र कर लिया सर।
वो असॉल्ट और अब्यूज का वीडियो आपका मम्मी का फ़ोन से मंजुला का फ़ोन को गया था?
हाँ गया है, वो एक वीडियो गया है, उसका पहले 2 वीडियो हमारा पास है, टोटल 3 है। 3 में एक उसमें कोई मिस हो गई ले लिया है, और 2 वीडियो हमारा पास है, वो 3 भी मिला के हमें ऑफिस में दिया सर।
ठीक है, आपका व्हेन डिड यू कंप्लेन टू द चाइल्ड प्रोटेक्शन ऑफिसर?
सर वो दिया, कानून क्या है वो करेंगे करके।
कब दिया
सर? वो थर्सडे कॉल किया था उनको, थर्सडे कॉल करके ऐसा वीडियो है सर करके, वो इमीडिएटली शेयर करो क्या। मैं उनको पूछा सर पक्का वही ऑफिस है ना, तुम हमको कानून नीति करेगा ना, तुम कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं करेगा ना करके बोल के वीडियो दिया है, वो तो कानून नीति कर रहे हैं सर। हाँ वो वीडियो
अभी FIR हुआ है HL में, 5 लोगों का बारे में FIR में नाम भी है, एक आदमी अब्सकॉन्डिंग है और वो मंजुला है।
वही मंजुला है सर, वही मेन सुपरवाइजर वही है, मेन वही है आदमी से, वो तो अपस्टैंडिंग में है। वो तो बोल रहा है सबको यही कर रहा है, वीडियो छुपके फाइल ये करके बोल रहे हैं, वो तो मंजुला अपस्टैंडिंग हो गया ना, वही तो वीडियो वही, वो अक्यूज्ड फर्स्ट वही है सर, मंजुला वही है A1, वही सब प्रॉब्लम क्या है, उसको डिस्टर्ब होता ऐसा बच्ची रो है तो डिस्टर्ब होता करके ऐसा हम करता है करके बोल रहे थे।
ठीक है, अभी योर मदर हैज बीन ब्रॉट टू द पुलिस स्टेशन, हैज द पुलिस इन्फॉर्म्ड यू एज टू व्हाई शी हैज बीन ब्रॉट?
इंक्वायरिंग करना करके बोल के लेके गए सर, अभी तक कुछ पता नहीं है, अंदर है कुछ क्या चल रहा करके हमको पता नहीं आ रहा।
ठीक है, what do you feel, was there any fights between your mother and the people working there? कुछ झगड़ा हो रहा था क्या इन लोगों के साथ और आपका मम्मी के साथ?
नहीं कुछ नहीं सर, आराम से है। वो वीडियो कब पूछे ऐसा नहीं करना तुम करके, तब से इनको झगड़ा कर रहा है वो लोग, इनको काम से निकालना करके, निकाले तो ये सभी प्रॉब्लम पता नहीं हो जाएगा बाहर करके उनका प्लान है। बस को उसका पहले हमारा पास वीडियो होता है सर, वो इनको कब से कर रहा है वो तब से हमारा पास वीडियो होता।
और कितना वीडियो है आपके पास ऐसा वाला?
सर वही है, अभी 3 था, 3 में उन्होंने 1 ले लिया, वो उसमें 3 वीडियो में 2 डिलीट किया था, वो 1 मिस हो गया सर, कहीं मिस हो गया वो ले लिया।
आपने बताया सिर्फ 3 वीडियो है, और अभी ये जो वीडियो मीडिया के आने के पहले ही सोशल मीडिया में आया था, कैसा है?
वो कैसा है पता नहीं सर, हम कानून नीति किया है और चाइल्ड ऑफिस को हम इन्फॉर्म किया, उनको वीडियो भेजा है, वो कौन मीडिया को दिया करके हमको मालूम नहीं है सर, वो कैसा गया हमको मालूम नहीं, वो हमें तो कानून नीति कर रहा है।
ठीक है, so this is Gautam, who mentions the fact that his mother was working at this private office for the last 1.5 months, and she got to know, she witnessed several of these instances over a large period of time, and it was on 21, 22 and 23 of June that she recorded all these videos after her son asked her to do so, and she also tried to convince the supervisor as to not to do this for the infants, and this might have a huge hit on their mental status, after which she was kicked out from her services on 26th, and now she is stationed at the HL police station, where she is being questioned by the HL police officers as to how she recorded the video and and her intentions of recording the video. So we will have to see how the law takes course in the next couple of days and what might unfold in the next couple of days as well. I'm Abhishek BB reporting with video journalist Manjunath KS for Republic TV from Bengaluru.
And now, viewers, we are shifting focus to Iran. The former Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who was killed in the US airstrikes in February. His funeral is being observed today, and in the process where several international delegates have arrived to participate in the farewell ceremony for former Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. These are live visuals. His coffin was brought to Tehran, and a final farewell by the people and international delegates have also arrived right now to bid farewell to the former Iranian Supreme Leader who held the power in Iran for many years. And these are live visuals from Tehran. His coffin was brought to the capital city in Tehran, and also earlier he was also brought to the site where he was killed in a final poetic goodbye for the Iranian leader. Now, international delegates have begun to arrive for Ali Khamenei's funeral, and Indian delegates have also reached this site to pay the last respects in Tehran.
اعضای محترم هیئت دولت و مقامات عالی رتبه کشور عزیزمون ایران بودیم که برای آخرین دیدار و وداع با پیکر مطهر رهبر عظیم.
However, we are also getting reports that Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's son, Mojtaba, will not be present at the incident, citing security concerns. However, several other international delegates are present. We can see Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi on the scene. They're present with among Iranian leaders at his either side of him. We can also see Masoud Pezeshkian on the screen there, present for the live final farewell to the former Supreme Leader of Iran. These are live visuals. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed in February as the Israeli-US airstrikes hit Tehran, as it launched many airstrikes in the capital city where he was stationed at, and the airstrikes ultimately killed him in the final week of February, when the war between the two nations broke out, and that led to this widespread of war in the West Asian region. And these are top leaders of the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's funeral, and many religious scriptures are being also cited on this occasion. We can see top leaders, international delegates being arrived, and a mourning ceremony being observed, a final farewell to the leader. And also, this is being observed as a mass funeral, and we're getting reports that there would be a week of mass funeral events with regards to the ceremony. And the body of the Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, he was lying in a state of a vast hall in Tehran, and many clerics and officials and many foreign dignitaries and other mourners paid their respect after his 37-year rule. And decades he had a grip in Iran and ruled Iran, and now a mass funeral procession was also carried out on this. Well, at the start of the 4-month war, he was killed in the US-Israeli airstrikes, and his body, Khamenei's body, was expected to be taken to Qom, Nazaf and Karbala as well. These are some Shiite centers of Iran and Iraq, and this is a mass funeral observation. And now a week of observation will be carried out, and many clerics are being gathered, including foreign delegates in this. And after a week of observation, the leader would be laid to rest. And now, viewers, we shift focus to another story that we're tracking. A China Out of Tibet campaign. Out of the UN headquarters in New York, a man self-immolated with the sign China Out of Tibet. A man self-immolated. These are some of the visuals that we're tracking. Let's take a look at this report.
A 42-year-old man holding a Tibetan flag died after setting himself on fire in front of the United Nations headquarters in New York. The incident occurred at 42nd Street and 1st Avenue. Rang Zin, who has lived in the United States for about 20 years, crumbled to the ground in less than a minute after he was engulfed in the flames. About 15 seconds later, a pair of first responders with fire extinguishers doused the flames. Police were spotted at the scene carrying sheets of paper, one of which said China Out of Tibet, a slogan commonly associated with the Tibetan independence movement or contemporary Free Tibet movement. The man was taken to Bellevue Hospital and later pronounced dead, according to the police. Law enforcement are investigating the self-immolation. Officials say they were not able to comment on what prompted the man to set himself on fire.
And now, viewers, with that we come to the end of this bulletin, but we'll continue the story on the other side as after the break we continue to track the story of the Bengaluru daycare horror, where one prime accused has been arrested and 5 booked in under the Juvenile Justice Act. We're getting all of this and more coming up after a short break.
AU करंट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता है फ्री UPI QR ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी और एक ही ऐप से बैंक के सारे काम। AU
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से।
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है?
अरे मेरे राजा,
सबका राजा आरती और मसाला।
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk tonight about an incident where an FIR got registered against 4 people. This is an incident which has happened in Madhya Pradesh, in Ujjain, and there is this strange video which shows a van suspended about 40 feet in the air. And it's suspended with a crane, some kind of a huge big crane. And there are explosives which are put inside this van, and then the van is detonated. Watch this very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. This is apparently during a Muharram procession, where the organizers fill a car with explosives, lift it 40 feet in the air with explosives, put a slogan on the vehicle saying, Le fir aage, which means, look, we are back. And then they explode the van. And at that point of time, there are posters put, there's a lot of mayhem. It's also seen in the video that there are 2 people who are waving red flags before the blast, and the car is detonated mid-air amidst the spectators. There are videos from an Instagram account which also show a young man performing other explosion-related stunts, such as filling a drum with explosives and blasting it. And there are intense explosives used out there. This is all a celebration of explosions. These are not fireworks, let me tell you this, viewers. Now, the police arrested the accused, and there was a procession of the accused also taken out. The accused identified as one Shoaib, Zahid Khan and Taslim. Shoaib organized the event, and Zahid and Taslim were the ones waving the flag while standing on the vehicle before the vehicle was blown up. This is what has happened. And this is the strangest and most
R Pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है? आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और फरसान, हर चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I said that Bhagwant Man's problem is that in the process of covering up one lie, he is lying a second time. So to cover two lies, he lies a third time and a fourth time. And now he's in a big trap. He is doing everything possible to save his job. But it's going to become more and more difficult for him. Plus, I think he has some very foolish advisors. You see, this controversy is about a younger Bhagwant Mann. He's about 52 years now, 52 or 53. And the video apparently goes back to the time he was 39 years old. This is a video he's released. Let me first show you the other video, the controversial video. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of Bhagwant Mann at the age of 39. And visibly, over the last 13 years, he's aged. There's nothing wrong with that. We all age. But there's a distinct difference in facial appearance. I'd like to show you a picture of Bhagwant Mann at present, which is about 52, 53 years old. And Bhagwant Mann on the other side at the age of 39, when he was a performer. Well, he is still a performer in a way. But there's a distinct physical difference. A, he's put on a lot of weight. His face is much more puffy. He's older. He's wearing a turban. He was not wearing a turban at that time. Not always, at least. Not always photographed with a turban. And so there's a distinct difference. So if you see the picture of the younger Bhagwant Mann, you'd actually have a blink and miss moment. Is this the same guy, you'd say? We all age. But some people, their appearance changes distinctly between 12 to 13 years. They're almost unrecognizable. And Bhagwant Mann is, fortunately or unfortunately, among those people. Now, what Bhagwant Mann is trying to say is, the guy you see in the pictures, in the sacrilege video, is not me. And he's banking on the fact that he looks different now. Now look at the picture on the left-hand side, the younger Bhagwant Mann. And look at the pictures on the right-hand side, which is the sacrilege video of 2014, 13 years back, of a younger Bhagwant Mann. And now they look much more similar, don't they? In fact, the more you go close up, you'll find it's probably the same guy. Now, Bhagwant Mann's argument can be privately to some people that if I did something sacrilegious 13 years back, why is it being picked up now? His detractors say it doesn't matter. You did something very bad. Now, to cover himself up, I'll go to the second set of pictures now, which will be of the first original video and the video he's released. In the first original video, Bhagwant Mann is seen doing something terrible, disrespectful, and sprinkling alcohol on pictures of Sikh gurus. And that's the original video. Today, for some strange reason, Bhagwant Mann has come out with his own video. And
from Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
The top headlines. Today's back-to-back cases of civic apathy comes to light. 2 electrocuted after rain and 1 drowns after falling into open pit. 2 daycare caretakers arrested for allegedly physically abusing toddlers at a daycare in Bengaluru. Prime accused sent to 14-day custody. DMK versus TVK intensifies in Tamil Nadu. DMK likely to move Supreme Court over TVK minister's comment on Karur stampede. Government orders removal of controversial apps stalling battery vehicles. Apps like BAT, BMS, Lossigi to be removed. First statement by RSS on Ram Mandir theft controversy. RSS says sentiments of the devotees wounded, calls for strict action. Now, viewers, in a major anti-terror crackdown in Gujarat and Maharashtra, in Madhya Pradesh, I stand corrected, 8 terrorists have been arrested by the ATS. 8 terrorists arrested by Gujarat ATS from Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. We are getting reports that 8 terrorists have been arrested by the Gujarat ATS, and the accused was associated with the proscribed terror organization Jaish-e-Mohammed from various districts of Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. And this after a major crackdown by the Gujarat ATS, where 8 Jaish terrorists have now been arrested by the Gujarat ATS, and they have been operating, in fact, in both Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. 8 terrorists who have been associated with the proscribed terror organization Jaish-e-Mohammed (JEM) have been arrested from various districts of Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. This coming in a major anti-terror crackdown in several districts in Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. I'm now joined by my colleague Swarnali, who has been tracking these stories and has more inputs for us. Swarnali, thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell us more into how this crackdown took place? We're getting reports that 8 JEM, the Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists, have been arrested, not just in Gujarat but also from Madhya Pradesh.
Right, Amrita, let me tell you, in a major crackdown by Gujarat ATS, 8 terrorists have been arrested by Gujarat ATS, 7 from Gujarat and 1 from Madhya Pradesh. Now, let me tell you, if we talk about the age range of all these accused terrorists, it is from 18 to 22, which clearly shows that a young brigade of terrorists have been arrested by Gujarat ATS, 4 from Patan district of Gujarat, 2 from Banaskantha, 1 from Navsari and 1 from Devas area of Madhya Pradesh. Now, let me tell you, this comes after the major crackdown in the Raisin attack which was being planned, and Raisin module which was being decoded by Gujarat ATS. After that, this is a major crackdown. And they belong to banned Jaish-e-Mohammed, and now 8 terrorists have been arrested by Gujarat ATS. They have been booked under several acts of unlawful and stringent activities, terrorist laws. So this is a major update right now, and after the investigation of these 8 terrorists, there might be a link that will be unfolded in this entire case. But what is to be noted is that this is young brigade, age ranging from 18 to 22, and 7 from Gujarat, 1 from Madhya Pradesh, which is very important to be noted in a times when various modules are being cracked open by ATS across country. 1 from Gujarat, as we know that Gujarat ATS is constantly behind the drug racket and terrorist modules. This is a major update right now. Back to you.
Swarnali, I hear you mentioned Raisin attack. Raisin is one of those very untraceable compound that can be used in food and immediately kill people, a very poisonous substance. So could you also tell us how did the Gujarat ATS came to know about this particular attack? Were they tracking this particular group for a long time, or was there a tip-off from one of the insider? How did this particular arrest was made? Can you tell us more into that?
Just to correct, I was talking about Raisin module which was being cracked before few months, and post to which this is a major update by the Gujarat ATS, that module of 8 terrorists who are accused to be connected with Jaish-e-Mohammed, which is a banned terrorist organization also involved in separatist activities of the country. They have been arrested by Gujarat ATS, 7 in Gujarat and 1 from Madhya Pradesh. If we talk about the districts, 4 from Patan, 2 from Banaskantha, 1 from Navsari and 1 from Madhya Pradesh. Now, it is to be seen that it is under investigation, and post-interrogation there might be various links which can come across for the further module, and there might be an update to this entire story. We are going to keep you updated. Back to you.
Right, Swarnali, thank you so much for giving us all of those inputs in this, and we'll continue to track this story in this anti-terror crackdown. And now, viewers, we move on to another story regarding the Ram Mandir temple donation theft controversy. The RSS has issued its first statement in this, and on this, RSS has said that the RSS General Secretary has said that the whole incident has in fact hurt the sentiments of the devotees and has called for a strict action against those, saying that those guilty should be brought to justice. This is in regards to the Ram Temple donation theft controversy, where 8 of those accused have been sent to judicial custody and several investigations still being carried out of police conducting raids in the residence of those accused. And we also have the statement of the RSS General Secretary in this regard. Let's take a listen to that.
दान पात्रों में जमा राशि की चोरी की दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटना से समूचे समाज और राम भक्तों को भावना एवं श्रद्धा को आघात पहुंचा है तथा इस घटना से हम सभी आहत हैं। श्री राम जन्मभूमि तीर्थ क्षेत्र न्यास के आग्रहपूर्वक निवेदन पर उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने विशेष जांच दल का गठन कर उसकी अनुशंसा पर कानूनी प्रक्रिया प्रारंभ की है। जांच में जो भी दोषी पाए जाएंगे उन्हें कठोर दंड हो यह सुनिश्चित करना आवश्यक है। राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ सहित संपूर्ण हिंदू समाज की न्यास से स्वाभाविक ही अपेक्षा है कि इस घोर निंदनीय घटना को असाधारण मानकर गंभीरता से व्यवस्था एवं संचालन की सभी कमियों को दूर करने हेतु परिणामकारक कदम उठाए ताकि अयोध्या मंदिर पर करोड़ों राम भक्तों की आस्था व श्रद्धा अखंड एवं अटूट बनी रहे।
And now, viewers, we are also joined on the phone line by renowned author Dr. Ratan Sharda. And thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Sharda, on this. And I would like your comments. And now, with the Ram Temple donation theft controversy, the RSS has finally spoken out on this as well. And they have also called for strict action, a stringent action against those who are guilty and responsible for carrying out this theft as on the temple donation. What are your comments on this latest developments that's coming in?
See, first of all, for people to expect RSS to give immediate and reaction is never RSS nature. So RSS has given its response after carefully looking at the entire episode and what's happening so far. And anybody should welcome this statement. RSS does not follows every law and believes in moral, ethical grounds for every kind of activity. So this particular statement is in line with that thinking that whether it's whoever the people, including its own the Sangha ideological Parivar people, if the management has not been done properly, there are mistakes, they have to be removed very strongly, and also demand for asking strict action is also in line with how RSS looks at ethical values and moral values, and I think this should restore some confidence in people of the mind of the people that there is nothing wrong with the approach towards Ram Mandir, the high standards expected are there. Slippage has happened and slippage has to be removed with full firmness and very strongly.
And also, sir, I'd like your comments on how this has also turned and evolved into a political battleground. Now, we have also heard a few days ago the UP Chief Minister saying that a strong crackdown will be taken place, and he also said that there will be no compromise. This is the stance of the UP government, and well, several opposition have also attacked by taking this instance and in trying to attack the government. So will this turn out into a larger political battle in UP, the Ram Temple controversy that we are seeing as of now?
See, it was very hypocritical of the opposition people who never believed in Ram, who never believed in existence, never supported the Ram Janmabhoomi agitation. In fact, they were the people who fired upon the Ram Bhakts, and these are the people who ridiculed Ram in the court. They denied the history and even refused to visit the mandir for last 2 years or 3 years. Today they are asking for coming out as strong Ram Bhakta and trying to create dissension in Hindu society and create doubt about the trust and the people involved in this movement has been exposed that nobody is looking for any escape route. We are all there to see to it that the faith is restored. And the opposition should stop dividing Hindu society, stop playing with sentiments and going hyper over all this. They have a right to speak on this matter. They always speak on every such matter, whether it's Hindu, Muslim or Christian. But just to single out one particular community and one particular instance to show the entire society and movement in a poor light was highly condemnable, and I hope they will understand that they are hurting their own image by playing this hypocritical kind of role.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ratan Sharda, for joining us on this broadcast and giving us your insights into this matter. And now, viewers, we move on to another story, a major story that's coming in from New York. This is regards to Tibet, big protest, and a man who was identified as Lobgar Rangzin, a 42-year-old, he planted a Tibetan flag on the sidewalk in front of the United Nations headquarters in New York, and he was dressed in full monastic garb as well. And there he carried out the last words in his last protest, China out of Tibet, in a protest against China, and he self-immolated after that. Let's take a look at this report and get to know more story in this.
A 42-year-old man holding a Tibetan flag died after setting himself on fire in front of the United Nations headquarters in New York. The incident occurred at 42nd Street and 1st Avenue. Rangzin, who has lived in the United States for about 20 years, crumbled to the ground in less than a minute after he was engulfed in the flames. About 15 seconds later, a pair of first responders with fire extinguishers doused the flames. Police were spotted at the scene carrying sheets of paper, one of which said "China out of Tibet," a slogan commonly associated with the Tibetan independence movement or contemporary Free Tibet movement. The man was taken to Bellevue Hospital and later pronounced dead, according to the police. Law enforcement are investigating the self-immolation. Officials say they were not able to comment on what prompted the man to set himself on fire.
So the Defense Ministry is Ritik ne bheja. And now, viewers, in a big breaking news, we have the Defense Acquisition Council, the DAC, under the chairmanship of the Defense Minister, has accorded acceptance of necessity in principle, approving for the Defense Forces an estimated cost of about 52,000 crore rupees. The DAC has approved acquisition worth 52,000 crore rupees in a major step to enhance India's combat readiness. And now this for the Indian Army, the approval was granted for the procurement of anti-unmanned aerial vehicles, electronic warfare system like the Akash Tarang, and the man-portable anti-tank guided missile as well, and medium-range surface-to-air missile systems and very short-range air defense systems and active protection systems for the tanks and jet-based kamikaze drone systems. A major acquisition for the Indian Army, and in order to prepare for the defense, for the combat readiness, said 52,000 crore rupees has been approved by the Defense Acquisition Council, and this in the latest as India boosts up its defense and combat readiness. And some of the announcements of the approval that was granted for was for the procurement of the anti-unmanned aerial vehicles and Akash Tarang, a major electronic warfare system, and other anti-tank guided missile as well, and surface-to-air missile and other drone system, a kamikaze jet-based kamikaze drone system have also been approved in this. I'm also right. I'm now joined by my colleague Ishan, who has more stories into this. Ishan, I'll get back to you and give us more details into this.
The Defense Acquisition Council has approved 52,000 crores of acquisitions today, including Akash Tarang. Now, this Akash Tarang is a new system that has been designed for electromagnetic wave protection against UAVs for the Indian. This is a made in India system and is being approved for the first time, developed by DRDO and in conjunction with various design bureaus available. This will be a very big step for the Indian manufacturers, and most of the components along with other details of the acquisitions are coming along. Apart from that, we also have acquisition of man-portable anti-tank guided missile systems. Now these man-portable anti-tank guided missile systems are very important because during the recent conflicts and wars we have seen that the most UAVs and most of the unmanned aircrafts and unmanned vehicles that are being used, this is a potent deterrent to those and would provide defense forces a major boost in providing net security to the other machinery and other units that are there. Apart from that, we are also acquiring very short-range missile systems. Now, these very short-range missile systems are the last line of defense against fighter jets and UAVs, and a lot of these were on the purchasing block earlier also, but were not approved. This is the time that they got approved, and now we'll be seeing them also being added to our defense systems. The Indian Air Force is also getting a fixed-wing pseudo-satellite. Now these pseudo-satellites are very important because they have the ability to cruise at altitudes of up to 100 kilometers in the air, and they can cruise using solar and wind energy for up to 100 days. They provide critical ISR capabilities to the Indian Air Force, and all of this being purchased in this version of the DSE. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Ishan, for giving us all of those details, and we'll continue to get back and track on this story that has been approved by the Defence Acquisition Council on the India's combat readiness. And now, viewers, we move on to another major boost for the India's defence and Indian Navy this time, as this comes against on the visit of the Indo-Japan friendship ties. And now a unicorn warship project has been approved by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Japanese Foreign Minister Yoko Kamikawa. And the unicorn warship project will be in charge of producing many stealth warships. This will be a big boost for the Indian Navy as well. Let's take a look at this report.
India and Japan have officially signed a historic defense agreement focused on naval stealth technology. This marks the first instance of Japan sharing such sensitive military hardware with the Indian Armed Forces. At the center of this agreement is the Unified Complex Radio Antenna Project, better known as UNICORN, a next-generation naval mast system designed to transform the way warships operate in contested waters. On any modern warship, the mast is the tall structure that carries antennas and sensors for communication, navigation, radar, and electronic warfare. These exposed systems are vital for operations, but they also create a major vulnerability. Traditional masts resemble a forest of wires, dishes, and rotating radars, each reflecting radar signals back to enemy surveillance systems. This cluttered design increases the radar cross-section of the vessel, making even advanced frigates and destroyers relatively easy to detect and classify. In an age where adversaries employ artificial intelligence to catalog radar fingerprints of individual ships, such visibility is a liability. UNICORN addresses this problem by consolidating all critical systems into a single sleek dome built from radar-absorbent composite materials. Within this aerodynamic structure, engineers have vertically stacked tactical air navigation systems, identification friend or foe transponders, secure satellite communication links, and electronic support measures. This internal arrangement prevents interference between powerful transmitters, ensuring clear and reliable communication across multiple frequencies. The protective casing shields sensitive electronics from harsh maritime weather while simultaneously reducing the ship's radar signature to a fraction of its original size. To an enemy operator scanning the ocean, a destroyer equipped with UNICORN could appear no larger than a small civilian vessel, granting commanders the ability to maneuver undetected. Bharat Electronics Limited will lead domestic production in India, working alongside Japanese firms such as NEC Corporation, ensuring both technological absorption and secure supply chains. The strategic implications for India are profound. The Indian Navy currently relies on legacy communication systems that lack the stealth characteristics demanded by modern maritime combat. With surveillance networks expanding across the Indian Ocean, adversaries are increasingly capable of identifying vessels based on their unique radar reflections. By adopting UNICORN, India denies rivals this digital footprint, allowing frigates and destroyers to patrol choke points, conduct intelligence missions, and secure trade routes with minimal risk of early detection. Local manufacturing ensures that India will not be dependent on foreign imports during crises, strengthening operational autonomy. Japan has already demonstrated the combat readiness of this technology aboard its Mogami-class frigates. These 3,900-ton multi-mission stealth ships were designed for anti-submarine and mine countermeasure warfare, and their most striking feature is the futuristic NOR-A50 mast, the Japanese designation for unicorn. The Mogami class achieves a radar cross-section exponentially smaller than older frigates of similar size, proving the effectiveness of the unified mast in real operations. Over a dozen Mogami vessels are already in service, giving the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force a formidable stealth advantage. For India, integrating this system into future warships will bring its fleet closer to the cutting edge of naval design, aligning with global trends in stealth architecture seen in advanced Western destroyers and frigates. Beyond stealth, Unicorn represents a broader shift in naval philosophy. Modern combat increasingly revolves around electromagnetic dominance, where control of communication, radar, and electronic warfare systems dictates victory at sea. By consolidating these functions into a single protected mast, India and Japan are not only reducing vulnerability but also enhancing resilience. The modular nature of the system allows rapid replacement, ensuring warships remain combat ready even after damage. This adaptability is critical in high-intensity conflicts, where downtime can determine strategic outcomes. The agreement between India and Japan is therefore more than a technical collaboration, it is a statement of strategic alignment. It reflects Tokyo's willingness to share frontline technology with New Delhi, strengthening the Indo-Pacific security architecture. For India, it is a leap into the next generation of naval warfare, equipping its fleet with stealth capabilities proven in Japanese service. As future Indian frigates and destroyers adopt the Unicorn mast, they will become harder to track, more resilient in communication, and better positioned to dominate contested waters. In a region where maritime surveillance and power projection are intensifying, this partnership ensures that India's Navy will not only keep pace, but potentially outmaneuver its rivals.
And now, viewers, we turn our attention to West Bengal, where the UCC debate is all set to intensify in the assembly. Now, a high-level meeting will be held today in Nabana with regards to the discussion of the UCC draft bill, and also an expert committee that is headed by a former Supreme Court Judge, Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai, will also examine the UCC draft bill before it is placed in the West Bengal State Assembly. Let's take a look at this report.
The West Bengal government has initiated the next step towards